Hello everyone, as we can see in the title today we are going to learn about 3D on AutoCAD. While we have already learned AutoCAD 2D, in 3D also all the commands are same. Only the additional will be that we will also have height or thickness of our drawing elements. In this video, we are going to learn about the main useful basic 3D shapes. We will learn about how to create them. So let's get into it. So, this is the interface we have when we open a new empty drawing file. Actually, it is not compulsory to get to the 3D drafting interface to work for 3D modeling. We can directly give commands and work normally like this. We are still in the drafting and annotation. But, if you don't want to work with the command entries, or if you prefer to work by using the tools displayed in the interface itself, we can just click here for switching. We can switch to either 3D Basics or 3D Modeling. For now let's just switch to 3D Basics. Now we can see some basic tools are displayed at this Home tab. From these tools, we can get the ideas about the shapes we can create in this 3D modeling with easy steps. In this video, we will learn about how to select the plane to create the shapes, and we will make sure we can create any shapes by these tools. There are many useful tutorial videos already uploaded in my channel with some free downloads. But, this is my first video on 3D title, and within next 3-4 3D tutorial video series, we will surely be able to create a simple sample building structure. Before we begin, if you're new here, I'm Vishnu, and I create practical AutoCAD tutorials to help you level up your drafting skills one step at a time. There are more useful tutorials on my channel and still more videos are on the way, so make sure don't miss any. And also I like to request you to share this video to others and support this channel. Now, let's dive in and make AutoCAD a little easier for you to master. Here, we are viewing on the XY plane. Whatever 2D figures we create in this condition, they all will remain on the XY plane 0 height until we provide or mention the Z elevation. We can call this view as top view. We can just keep pressing Shift key, then click and hold mouse roller and move the mouse until we like the view angle we see. Like this. Now we can see 3 planes XY, YZ and XZ. Till now we have just rotated the view angle. We have not changed our working plane. This means, whatever we draw now will remain in the XY plane. Let's draw some circles. Let's draw randomly anywhere. Now rotate the view by Shift key and mouse roller pressed to check at which plane the circles are. We can see all the circles are on the same plane. That is XY plane. Let's have a look on this. This figure will help you to understand the 3D concepts. Whether we select left or right view direction, we will get our drawings drawn at YZ plane. Similarly, whether we select front or back view, we will get our 2D objects drawn on XZ plane. And similarly it will use XY plane if we choose our view direction either top or bottom. We can set our working plane from here at the upper left corner of our workspace. And in case if it is not shown here, we can click at View. Click here and select the required plane. Let's select front view. Let's draw a line and a circle, for example. Inside or outside. Now rotate the view with Shift and roller pressed. We can see UCS icon has also changed to XY for working plane. Again, let's change our view direction. This time let's select right. This is the view we get from right side. The lines and circles that were drawn on another plane are in another plane overlapped to this line. We can select and move them. Now again let's draw something. Now rotate the view. From this view also we can draw. But all the objects will be formed at this plane until we draw from the snap points. We can move from snap to snap too. But if we draw an empty space, it will remain at this plane. Now let's change view direction to left. And draw something. Again, rotate the view. It remained at the same plane just as when we were at right side view direction. We can rotate anywhere, but until we change the working plane from here, same plane will be our working plane. Also, this 4 view option will not affect on our working plane. I hope you got good ideas about working planes, view direction, and rotating views. Now let's start making some 3D objects. First of all, let's go to top view for selecting our working plane as plan view. Now, let's click at Home tab. We can see here box is shown, but recently created object will be shown here from this drop-down list. Let's create a box. Click on box. Now click somewhere. We can randomly click and click for rectangle size, or let's type 10,25 for now. Now it tells us to specify height. Let's give cuboid height. Let's type 15 and press enter. We have just created a cuboid 10 by 25 by 15. We are just seeing rectangle because we are viewing from top view. So let's rotate the view. Now we can see the cuboid. Let's create cylinder. Click somewhere and click for radius or type radius. Or if we want to give diameter, type D and press enter and type diameter and press enter. And then randomly click for height of cylinder or type and press enter. This cylinder looks odd as how it is displayed by lines. But this is how Autocad displays cylinder in 2D wireframe visual style. Working on this visual style will be very easy, but we also like to see some solid type visuals. So we can change the visual style as per the stage of our working. So to change the visual style, we can click just beside view changing options where currently 2D wireframe is shown. Or if we can't find it here, we can click on this visualize tab and click here and select preferred style. Right now it is shown 2D wireframe. Click on this drop down list. We can compare trying all and figure out what's the difference. For now, let's just select the conceptual option. So now we can see solid objects for 3D. We can also change the working plane without changing the view from here. Let's see. Click top view and let's draw a line and a circle. Let's rotate the view a little. Again, let's select right and draw a line and a circle. We can see the lines and circles drawn are at different planes. Now let's get back to this Home tab and continue with the 3D shapes. Let's draw a cone. Click somewhere and click for radius or type radius. Or if we want to give diameter, type D and press enter and type diameter and press enter. Then randomly click for height of cone or type height and press enter. Similarly, sphere, let's click for placing center of sphere. Click randomly or provide radius or diameter. We can also make a sphere which passes through 3 point. Click on this 3P and click at 3 points through which the sphere surface should pass. We can change the visual style to make ease to select the end snaps. We can also make sphere with 2-point reference by clicking on this 2P. For pyramid, we have 2 options. Edge and sides. Type E or S and press enter for selecting any option, or we can just click here. Let's click on this edge. It says click for endpoint of base. Click somewhere and random click or provide the base length and press enter. Then again provide the height randomly or type and enter. Let's do this command again, and this time let's select sides. Then we can provide the required base sides of our pyramid. Let's type 4 and press enter. Let's make a pyramid. Again, let's repeat and give number of sides 8 and draw pyramid. Let's select wedge. Click and click for random base rectangle and again click for height. Or click and provide size by typing let's say 10, 20 and height 3. Or let's do again, click somewhere and let's click here at cube or just type C and press enter. Then the wedge is formed with the base length we provide, which volume is half of a cube. Or it's like the half of cube cut diagonally. For torus, click for the center of circle. Then provide radius or diameter of the circle. Then type the required torus radius or diameter and press enter. And polysolid, this command is almost same as polyline command. But this will have 3D thickness and height. Let's say we want to build a fence wall with thickness 0.3 and height 1.5 meters. So we can use this polysolid command. Let's select the command. We can see 4 options here. Let's provide width first. So click on this width. Let's type 0.3 for width. Now click on this height and provide height, 1.5 and press enter. Now let's go on clicking the points for wall alignment. And we can see fence wall is formed with the details we provided. Let's say we already have a 2D polyline for wall alignment. We can just type O for selecting object and press enter and select the polyline to convert to polysolid. We can adjust the reference base also by typing J for justify and select any option. And polysolid will settle on that justified system. This justification will remain same until we change to any other justification. As I have told earlier, to use these commands we can just give command. Like to make a box, type box and press enter. Similarly for cylinder, cone, sphere, pyramid etc. all, type these names and start to create them. Okay, these were the basic 3D shapes we can create with ease. But, to make the 3D solids, we have other techniques too. It is not must that we follow the same process all the time. Now let's get back to Home tab. We have just finished the quick 3D shapes. Next to this box, we can see extrude with upward arrow sign. This command will project any 2D closed polylines towards its perpendicular direction, converting it to 3D element. For this command, let's draw some 2D closed polylines on our plan view XY plane. For now just random size. Now, let's click on this extrude command, or we can just type EXT and press enter. Now it prompts us to select objects to extrude. So select objects to be extruded. We can select multiple objects too. And press enter. Now while moving the cursor, we can see the height of object is obtained. We can just click or give certain height and type enter. Did you notice, it's same like this box command? Extruding any closed 2D polyline will generate height and makes it 3D. Let's create one polyline closed shape and one non-closed shape. Now extrude them both and see what happens. Let's click this closed polyline extrude. We can see, it's 3D solid. And now let's select this open polyline extrude. It's just a surface extrusion. It will just look like a paper sheet. Therefore, to extrude any object, we must make it a closed polyline first. Now revolve. This command is used to extrude on a revolving direction with the base axis to any degrees. Okay, let's draw a line vertical up on XY plane. Change the working plane to front. Now let's draw a shape. Now let's click on this revolve and select object to revolve. Let's select this closed shape and press enter. Now, to specify the axis, click at any 2 point on this line. We can see our shape becomes 3D on a circular direction. It's a wine glass. Let's type 360 for complete circle and type enter. We can also change to revolving degree by selecting it and from properties. Loft. This command creates the 3D by joining the 2D sections. First, let's change our working plane to top. Now let's make similar glass by loft method. For this we have to make the sections at different heights. Let's draw circles. Copy it towards up direction and change size. Copy and change sizes. We can just click on the circle and drag by this grips or provide size from the properties. More the number of sections, smoother is our 3D solid. Now, we have section circles for wine glass. Let's click on this loft. Select all the circles serially. We can see 3D is being created by joining the sections. Click enter after selection complete. And select cross sections only option here. And we can see wine glasses formed. We will hollow it inside in next command. So we just created 2 3D glasses using 2 different commands. Now sweep. This command is similar to extrude, but it extrudes closed shape to desired alignment with bends and curves. Let's see how it works. Let's draw a polyline for the route of our extruding sections on plan view. Change to front view and let's draw a required closed polyline. Let's move this section to this end of alignment. We can select any corner as per necessary. Now let's click on this sweep command or just type sweep and press enter. Now, select the section to be swept and press enter. Then select alignment from this options or just type A and press enter. Then select yes, form this option and click on the alignment. We can see 3D object is formed with the section that we have prepared throughout the alignment. So these are the general shapes that we can easily create with these easy tools. But we can also make changes after creating. So let's learn about editing tools. Here we can see the command press pull. Let's click on it. Here it says select object or bounded area. So let's bring our cursor around or over any solid object. We can see the face of object is highlighted when we put the mouse cursor on any 3D face. Let's click on one and see. The selected face is extended. We can type the required extension and press enter. The face will be extruded towards its perpendicular direction. We can also reduce by going backward direction. We can also press pull 2D closed polylines. It will work like extrude. This command, union. This command helps us to convert multiple individual 3D solids to a single object. We can click here of just type UNI and press enter for this command. Then select the objects to be combined. And when done, press enter. The selected objects will become a single solid. But after doing union, we will not see grip points like before at individual objects. But we can still do press pull and select the grip point by pressing Ctrl and clicking at the corners or faces. Now subtract, it literally means subtract. We can remove unrequired portion or our 3D solid part by using this command. Let's say we have a hewn pipe which has thickness. Let's draw a circle on plan view and let's offset for its thickness. Let's extrude both circles to make cylinder. We can see two different size cylinder. But the smaller one is the void size inside the bigger one. So let's keep the smaller cylinder exactly at the center on same base. Now let's subtract. We can click here or just type SU and press enter. Then select the object we need and press enter. Then select the subtracting portion and press enter. We can see we have made a hollow pipe with thickness. Similarly, we can subtract differently shaped solid object from different shaped 3D objects. Just click on Subtract. Select the main object and press enter. Then select object to be subtracted and press enter. And we get the result on the remaining object. Now intersect command. This command is used to obtain the intersected portion of two or more than two solid objects. We can just select this command and select two or more than two 3D objects and press enter. We get the separate 3D object which is the intersected portion of all selected objects. And these commands we can see here, they all are same as in 2D AutoCAD drafting. If you are not familiar with these commands, I would like to suggest you to view my previous video on AutoCAD basic tutorial. So, for 3D mirror. This is similar to the mirror command in 2D. But in this command we can mirror in 3D dimension by selecting 3 points for base plane. Like this. We can mirror with 3 base points for base mirror plane. Culling. It says, it controls whether objects that are hidden from view are highlighted when we roll over them. Let's say we have an object within this larger object. Let's select the smaller object. Let's try to stretch it selecting by its grip points. Even it is inside the larger solid, we are able to modify by holding at these grips. Now let's click on this culling option and select once again. Again let's try to stretch by these grip points. We can see we are unable to do this. So, this is the difference we get by this culling option. We can switch as required. But this will not affect on 2D wireframe visual style. Now, next to this culling we can see no filters. At this state our mouse is normal state. When we click on any solid object, whole object is selected. But when we select vertex option from this list, then when we click at the corner of our solid, we can select individual vertex grips and stretch it toward any directions as required. If we select edge, we can select individual edge of our solid and stretch it as required. If we select face option, we can directly click on any face of 3D solid and extend toward its perpendicular direction. If we select solid history, it will make us capable to select the subtracted solid and modify its shape and get the required result on the existing solid. Gizmo, this tool is just of setting control point for rotate plane selections, scale, move etc. which we can do just like in 2D drawing. We just need to switch to the required plane for rotation direction. So I think by knowing the functions up to here, we can create any types of shapes for our 3D objects. If not, or have any problems we can discuss on the comments. And that's a wrap. In my next 3D sequel video, we will create one sample building structure as practice with instructions from which you can also make yours along with me. And we can go on progressing with the use of materials and better rendering. Besides, I will also create videos on how to create different 3D shapes. I still have lots of ideas and hundreds of useful Lisp files at my backup. Since my channel is very new, do not hesitate to support by sharing. Do not forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more tips and tricks. If you found this tutorial helpful, and if you have any questions or need more clarification, drop them in the comments below. I'd love to help. Thanks for watching, and happy drafting!